Good afternoon, traders. This should be a live trading video. Looking for an aftermarket trade here. The market is about to close, and I've got the watch list open here, or the screener open here, and also on my laptop just to see which one refreshes first. You see what's happening right here is didn't happen the same way on my laptop, so it's always good to have two sources, even though they're both open with Webull. So this is kind of weird. I should just restart when I see stuff like that. You also pull up my 2R calculator. I think I forgot to open that. Okay, so for the aftermarket, I want to see this aftermarket thing pop up. There it is, after hours. Organize it by the highest percentage gainer, and then put it on the list. You can't go by volume in the aftermarket. So just looking at the ones that are in my price range. I think those were all low floats. Yep. So then we'll go to the watch list view and look at the aftermarket, put it on grid. So this is the one right here. So it looks like we missed like a front side entry. Actually, I wouldn't have taken this one because there's no stop loss. I wouldn't want to take a stop that wide. That's like 70 cents. The only way I would take a front side entry is if it if the second candle opened below the high of the first, then I could make my stop loss right there. Let's take a look at the daily chart really quick just to make sure. Okay, so this thing ran up a while ago, so it might have some selling pressure. But it's still very far away from that, so it might try to close that gap. I just want to get in on a pullback. So here's the first pullback. It sounds like someone has a pressure cleaner outside, so if you're hearing that, sorry about that. So I would look to get in for the break of this candle, although I don't like how, okay, let's see what happens here. Maybe it's going to give more of a legitimate pullback. But one entry would be at 528. Spread is kind of big here, 10 cents. I mean, for $5 stock, okay, so it's kind of fluctuating. That happens a lot in the aftermarket. It's kind of the risk you take trading in the aftermarket. But this thing does have a lot of volume here. You can see on these 1 minute candles. So there's plenty of volume, and it's a very low float, 3 million shares. So that's a lot of volume for a a stock with a float size like this. And this is definitely the one to be watching right now. I've got the list open on my laptop. So hopefully this candle stays small, and then if the next candle breaks out through that high, then I'll get in. Okay, so the entry would be 503. Spread is pretty big, but it's not crazy. Let's see, if I see 503 or better, I'm getting in. Gotta be very quick. Oh shoot, not unlocked. Okay, got in a little bit late there. But my stop, that was only 3 cent slippage there from getting in late. My stop is 479. So let's use the 2R calculator here. Move it over here so I can keep an eye on things. So my actual entry was 506. The stop I said is 479. So 2R target is 560. I'll probably sell half if it gets to the top, gets to near the top of this candle. My stop loss is down here. I won't stop out unless I see 478 or less. So it has to break this level. I don't like that the volume wasn't as big on this candle, but yeah, it's not for me to decide like whether or not this is a good trade. I've already decided where my stop is, and I know where my first target is. So I just got to let things work out. And if it's a losing trade, it's a losing trade. But I'm going to let the price action tell me when it's a losing trade, which is 478 or less. Otherwise, I just have to hang out. A lot of times these stocks come down like right to your stop level and they pop back up. So I'm going to be very strict about that 478. If I see 479, I'm not stopping out. But if I see 478, I will. I mean, 480 is a good round number, you know, for support too. But let's see what happens here. Just got to keep a close eye, because if I do have to take the loss, I want to be out as quick as possible so I don't encounter too much slippage on the way down. Just kind of waiting for more people to hear about this thing to buy in. You know, that's usually the way these things work, is once the news gets out that this thing is the top gainer on the aftermarket, people buy in and drive the price back up. So if you get in early, you're usually going to do okay. If I can get 10 cents, I might just sell half. So that candle's actually bigger than what it let on. Wow, there's a big struggle here between the buyers and sellers. This could have been, I mean, this is so many shares, I doubt it. You know, like a pump and dump attempt to get some of those bag holders that were holding from, you saw earlier on the daily chart. Which it does work sometimes, and that's why you just have to have your stop in place. You know, be very clear about it, just in case you do get caught in one of these. They often, these things really run up, and you can make a lot of money off of them. So it's worth taking the calculated risk. Just like the volume is just kind of dwindling on this, which is unfortunate, but it could just be people just waiting to see what this is going to do, waiting to get in. You never know. Oh, I was trying to get that like 518, but got out a little bit late there. It's kind of screwed. Okay, now I'm gonna get half half out again. I'll just hang on to these two just in case this thing keeps running. Okay, there we go. I don't even remember what my actual target was. I know I got nowhere near it. 560. But the way this thing chopped around, just not feeling that hopeful about it. See what it wants to do now. That was a nice push there. But this trade's pretty botched at this point. But I mean, you know, like I said, this sideways move didn't make me feel very good about it. But that's not really my job. My job is just to press buttons. As long as it hasn't hit my stop, I'm supposed to wait until 2R. But that's definitely a struggle for me. Don't really like what it's doing right now. I mean, it's like once you've started managing the trade, it's hard to stop. Because, you know, I've already ruined this trade. Just took off another share there because this thing's bouncing around. But I mean, the price action didn't help because, you know, I was expecting a big push there. So I should probably go a little easy on myself. But we need to be our own worst critics with our trading, because otherwise you're not going to get any better. So now I think I should at least hold this one share until my actual target, or until it stops me out by hitting my entry. So I'm moving my stop up to my entry since I've already taken profit. So unless my screener is wrong, this is still the top gainer of the aftermarket. Oh no, there's... Oops, yeah. Let's see. Let's see what the low of the... So it looks like there's a support here at... It's a lot more jaggedy than it looked on that lower scale. But higher lows still. This one broke the low of this candle, but look at that price getting pushed up really hard there. I mean, this thing can't go up now after this hammer. I don't have much hope for it. It should stay away from the low of this candle, which is 529, so I'm going to move my stop up there. I know I only have one share, but still just trying to make the best of the trade. So if this thing breaks this 529, I'm going to get out. I think the struggle this thing is having is just because of, like I said, all of that selling pressure from days ago. So if I see 528, I have to get out. This is just a lot of choppiness here. Of course, I'd like to stay in for a bigger move, but let's just see what it does. Sure did get close to that 2-hour target there, because my 2-hour target was 560. So I would have done a whole lot better if I would have held, you know, and then sold out near the top of this candle. But all this sideways movement just really scared me. All right, so I'm looking for, if I see 528, I get out. Yeah, so PPSI still the top gainer. There's GHSI, but oh, look at that. Okay, I gotta get out because that's what I said. All right. Yeah, I was I was kind of going back and forth between my laptop and this screen, so I think I missed when it broke through that my stop level there. So yeah, if I had to guess, I would say the reason why this thing didn't blow up, you know, on the upside there is because of the daily chart. Obviously, it's not the chart itself. It's the fact that this thing ran up to 943 and on October 6th with 319 million shares traded. It looks like tons of sellers then. You know, like people must be holding this thing from way back when. Let's see if we can find where that is. I mean, this thing hasn't been much higher. This is, yeah, it's kind of surprising. But yeah, I can only assume it's bag holders from back here that bought this thing pretty high and are just trying to get out. Yeah, so I mean, this thing was really strong. It really should have popped, especially once it broke the high of this candle. It should have taken off, so not too sorry about the way I traded it. Although, yeah, I mean, I weak-handed it, but it is what it is. I mean, it's going to be so much easier to hold till 2R when these things do, you know, like really take off where I expect them to. Until then, I can't be too hard on myself for weak-handing stuff like this that's just going sideways. All right, guys, hopefully this helped you. Let's see what I ended up with for the day. 757, not bad. I was around $6, 664, so almost made another dollar there. So, you know, nothing huge, but just added to the overall day. And I've already made over 1% today. Let's see, that's just for the year so far. I'm up over 2% already, just 2 days of trading. Hopefully that continues, we'll see. And yeah, here's what I actually made on that stock was 93 cents, but $40 trade, so not a bad return considering the amount of the trade. And let's look at just today. So just today I grew the account 1.43%, which is honestly, that's great, because if you have a cash account and you're only trading about half of your account each day, you know, essentially double that number to see what you would be doing with a margin account, maybe even more, because if you think about, let's say, someone that has a $25,000 margin account and they're trading with 4 times margin, you know, they're essentially trading with $100,000 a day, potentially more than that, I guess, because, you know, you keep getting, I guess that's on one, that 4 times margin is just on one trade. You know, you can use that on one single trade, and you can do that over and over again. So to get these kind of numbers with a cash account is really, really good. Obviously, I could be doing better, because a lot of the trades that I'm taking are going to 2R. In fact, almost every single trade I've taken so far this year has gone to 2R except for one of them. And even with that minus 1R stop, you know, let's see. I mean, I didn't add in this trade, so this number is a little bit bigger, like 11 something. But versus my 2R P&L would be almost $40. So that gives you an idea of how well the 2R trading works. Again, assuming you have to have very strong entries, know which stocks to pick, things like that. So that's going to take time and experience, but it pays off. So now I just got to get better at holding to 2R. All right, guys, I'm going to stop this video here, and I will see you in the pre-market. I'm not going to be trading too much tomorrow. I have a lot of things I have to do, so I'll probably just take a pre-market trade, and that's it. I'll be gone when the market opens. All right, guys, take care. Have a good night. See you in the morning.